Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Renisha Roberts and welcome back to Real Talk with Renisha. Today we have another amazing guest. I would love to welcome you guys to the lovely Miss Robin Shannon Banks, and she's hailing all the way from California. Miss Banks is a financial insurance advisor. In her spare time, some of her projects and interests include financial advisor to help with mortgage acceleration payoff and child wealth accumulation. Welcome, Robin Shannon Banks, to the show. How are you?
Thank you. I'm wonderful, Rennie. Thank you so much for having me. What a pleasure to be a guest on your show. I feel so valued about my opinion and my experience in my field, and I'm so thrilled to be here.
Oh my gosh, you're so welcome. And one of the reasons why I wanted you to be on here, Miss Banks, is because financial planning is one of those things, myself included, for a long time, was so afraid of. We are so afraid of money because I feel like most of us were not educated on being financially savvy. So we are intimidated when it comes to investing and what does a portfolio look like. So it is my honor to have you on so you can just give us all what that is about in a nutshell. Like hopefully like even a 5-year-old could
Yes,
understand financial
absolutely.
planning.
Absolutely, Rennie. Thank you
Awesome.
so much for that question. And yeah, it is. Most people are afraid to talk about money and numbers because it's like facing the truth, which people don't want to do. So we put it in a nutshell of if you know you have 20 eggs in a basket and you are literally carrying that basket around for years, you don't
Mhm.
necessarily think that basket is ever going to decrease. And if you drop an egg to keep it basic, now you've got 19 eggs. It's like you don't really want to tell people, oh my goodness, I accidentally dropped one of my eggs. My basket is not full. So it's sharing something that's so private that a lot of people push back from it. They don't want to share with a person that they have minus or they're not as where they think they should be in their financial goals. And that's what
Yeah,
we represent is that to be a trusted partner, Rennie, to people, to help them understand you're never too late. The only thing that is too late is not acting and doing anything. So you protect what you earn. And when you say, you've heard the saying, make your money work for you, it's so that
absolutely.
money you're earning, you're not just giving it back to people and spending it, giving it back to the people who gave it to you, but you're using it to value yourself, to protect your own future so that you
Yes.
accumulate wealth and it's working for you, not against you. Not it's always going out for taxes, going out for
Right.
fashion. All of that is great, but you need to be able to keep some for yourself and have it grow.
Absolutely. That makes so much sense when you say it that way, you know? So let's start out by me just asking what motivated you to become a financial advisor? I really admire women in this field.
Yes.
I remember growing up and it was Susie Oman.
Yeah.
I used to listen to her a lot in my younger days. And
Yes.
it was just amazing when a woman understands money, understands finances,
Right.
understands how to move it around, what to do with it. So, what
Yes.
motivated you, Shannon,
Well,
to?
absolutely, Winnie. Thank you for that question. And of course, everybody loves Susie Orman because you're right. She represents a new direction for the future for women to look at what you have, look at your value, understand what it means. So, what motivated me was somebody I loved came along to me and said, what have you thought about doing outside of flying as an American Airlines flight attendant? And I said, I really haven't thought about it. But I also realized that I needed to think about it because that's a physical job where you're going, as you well know, to different countries. And I thought, I really want to use my brains. I considered what I was doing before fluffy. What do I mean by that? Everything was arranged for us. You know, well, Rennie, we arrive and the van is there. The hotel is ready. We literally need to choose where we're going to go to lunch in Paris. Like that to me is a fluffy life, which is wonderful. People would
Yes.
kill for that. But for me, my motivation was I want to do something really significant. I want to help educate people and change their view of what does their finance look like? What does it mean? And how is it going to benefit them in the long run? So I'm grateful that Batsheva, my dear friend, said, get your license, get this done. And I did it. Yeah.
Hear you. I mean, it's so important,
Yeah.
because again, just the way the economy is today, you can share a little bit about that, how important it is to be financially educated. I guess we
Yes.
don't do a term. Mhm.
Absolutely. Bottom line. So that's what my priority was that is that you can't continue to say, oh my gosh, we want to accumulate generational wealth. We want to close the wealth gap. Those are all cliches. Those are terms that people use, but there's no action behind it. And unless there's people who are in an industry who can say, listen, here's A, B, and C that you
Mhm.
did 10 years ago, and now here's D, E, and F that you can do right now so that in 5 years, you've created a plan with a goal that you can see right in front of you that is actually achievable. So that's the beauty of what we do. And we're licensed. So that means that we're vetted, we're responsible, we have requirements that we must maintain because you're handling people's finance. And that part made me even happier because I know you don't put the risk into something that is very high level important and not be qualified.
Correct. Correct. I remember how hard it was for me many years ago,
Yeah,
just starting up a 401k.
sure.
These again was not terms that as a young person
Yeah,
I even understood or knew what that was. All I knew was somebody was taking money from my paycheck and putting it aside and
yeah,
investing it. I had no
yeah.
idea what that meant. But when
Right.
you speak about, right, and it's like, it's a big deal. Like a
Yeah,
25-year-old, a 24-year-old, that's a huge
yeah.
deal
You have
to
no
start
idea.
thinking about these things now because retirement is so far away in our
Yeah.
heads anyway, right? We know how time
And
goes really
yes,
fast.
yes,
But
yes.
those were one of those things where like, didn't understand it, but I said, you know what? It sounds like a good thing. Let me just do it. And
Yeah,
I did. And it's still growing for me. So when you
yeah.
speak about generational wealth, explain that to us. Why is that so important for us
Right.
to
Well, the reason it's important specifically for you and I as African American women, Rennie, this is a pivotal time for us to share the knowledge that we have, you in your field, me in my field, the challenges in the real world that people face. What that means is people's grandparents had a different perspective. They may
yes,
not have had any money to save because their struggle was about survival, and now you've got a generation of people in their 40s and 50s where it's a different perspective. Their career may pay a higher salary than their grandparents did. So now they're in a position to create that wealth by having the right products in place so that A, they leave that generational wealth continuous for their child, but it works for them in their retirement, but it also stays in their family so that now their children's children will also be able to tap into that wealth. And about 401ks as well, it's a product that was created for the general public, and people definitely need to be educated on the fact that somebody's putting that money in, but they're not telling you the amount of tax that you will have to pay when you remove the money. It's going to be devastating. And so that's part of what I want to educate people on as well, is to not leave your $250,000 in your 401k, because when you take it, it may be 50,000
wow,
because you've got to pay taxes, and people don't know that. So all these levels of education have to come from creating the generational wealth so that it's not just, oh my gosh, I've just learned about high interest savings account. I'm putting money in
yes,
there, but the money's not multiplying fast enough to keep up with inflation. Prices are rising. People can't afford to buy, but all those elements come into play for what generational wealth means is to hold on to the money and not lose it.
wonderful advice. Yes. And again, I feel like, and you said it, I feel like as African Americans, I can't speak for everyone,
No,
obviously, and
right,
we are just not educated in that manner to
right.
know anything pretty much about, again, how to be financially savvy, especially in today's economy.
Yeah,
And like I said, there's so much going on with the economy right now. You
right.
really have to be educated and smart to make your money work for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Rennie. And you also must realize that if somebody gives you information, having the information is meaningless if you don't act on it. So if you
Absolutely.
have a plan in place, you know what they say, there's this big saying, Rennie, that a goal without a plan is just a wish. I wish it would happen. I wish. You can wish
Yes.
for days, but if you don't have a structural plan, A will get you to Z, it never will happen. And that's what financial advisors do is show you on paper, here's how we get you from A to B. It's a GPS literally in finance.
Excellent, excellent. So I want to say that's part of like my next question is, how to make your money work for you. So
Yeah.
for instance, let's say someone who has never done this before,
Yeah.
where we advise them to start. This is someone that's like over 45.
Yeah.
Time it now is way closer than it was at
Sure.
25. They
Absolutely.
have started.
Yeah.
What would you advise them? Where would they start?
The
Next
advice I
question.
would give them to say would be you got 20 years in front of you. If you're healthy, you want to make sure you live your life in a safe manner, which is meaning don't put yourself in places you don't belong in. You maintain safety for your physical life, but the monetary safety that you need to put in place is A, you've got money from your employer, you've got a payroll that you have coming in. The thing you need to keep in mind is A, you pay insurance on your cell phone, you pay insurance on your car, you're paying everybody else to insure products, but what are you doing for yourself? What are you paying yourself and protecting yourself with? So that's where we start is with you take your whatever your budget, $100, 400,000, whatever that looks like for you. You say, you know what? I'm paying myself. I'm paying myself. I'm paying myself. What that money's doing is multiplying in a way that you could never get at a bank. You could never get in a certificate of deposit. You need to pay tax on that. But the point of that, Rennie, is that what a 45-year-old can do right now is huge because they got a 10-year window where they can actually solidly work, right? And when they turn 55, start to think about what is my retirement going to look like? But that's 10 years of accumulation that our product
Yeah.
can help you with. And that's what you want to think about. It's like a 45-year-old is young. 45-year-old
Yes.
is young. 45-year-old has 10 years of solid work in front of them to get ready. Accumulation can be happening and in the next 10 years, from 55 to 65, then they start to think about when do I really want to slow down? What have I done to make preparation for this? So I'm glad you asked that question because it's a perfect time to start, as we say. When should you start? Yesterday. If you didn't do it yesterday, when's the best time? Now.
I feel like I'm hearing it doesn't matter when you start, just get started.
Exactly. That's right.
It's
Exactly.
really never too late. Yes. It's really never too late. Even if it's all you have is 5 years left, let
Yeah,
those 5 years work for you. That
absolutely.
I'm hearing. Wow.
Yeah, that's so
Interesting.
true, Rennie, because a lot of people will say, they have financial problems. They can't put aside
Yes.
$100 for themselves. It's like, so the answer is you're always going to say that for the rest of your life if you don't see that you need to change whatever it is that's happening so that you won't
Yes.
continue to say, I have financial problems. This is not the right time to do this. You've got to make yourself understand paying yourself first, protecting your future, your income, whatever that looks like, protecting your mortgage. Those are things that have to be a priority. They have to
Yeah.
be a priority.
I love the concept of paying yourself first.
Yes.
I love that concept, but it comes back to so many things that I've been talking about. And one of my questions is going to be related to that is we don't know how to prioritize ourselves. We prioritize everyone else, our family, our husband, our
Yes,
children, or this or
absolutely.
that.
Yep.
Us, we take the
Yes.
back seat and we do nothing for ourselves.
No.
And it
And
comes to,
it's like
it doesn't
yeah,
matter what.
absolutely, Rennie.
So it comes up in even in a financial discussion, that same mentality needs
Yes.
to be changed.
Yes. To
I
pay
need to
for your
take care of
cell phone insurance, pay for your car insurance.
this. All of it. All of it. Absolutely. And we see nothing in paying for any of that stuff, which is the
No,
problem in my head. But
no.
what about you? What about
Right.
investing in you? Then it
Yes,
becomes an issue or a problem. A lot of
absolutely.
people.
Yeah, because the physical items that you use on a daily basis, like your phone,
Hmm.
like your car, you're reliant upon those things, A, to get you where you need to be to earn money. But do you think about
Absolutely.
what if you had no salary? How would you rely upon receiving, paying your mortgage, paying your car note, paying your cell phone bill if you didn't have any emergency fund? So people don't necessarily think like that. The pandemic forced us to realize you cannot have zero. You have to have something in reserve. We've all been there. We've, me included, people who watch this show.
Yes.
You've been to the point where it's, oh
Yes.
my God, what am I going to do? I got to keep the lights on. I got to keep the gas on to heat the water. Winter's coming. But that's the position you want to remove yourself from so that it doesn't continue to happen. So that you have what we call a nest egg that you can rely on,
Correct.
that is yours, that you put there, that you know it is available because you made the right choices.
Earlier in life, absolutely. But you know, it's important that you said the pandemic has forced us to do things differently. It
Yes.
has forced us to look at our life differently.
Yeah, to
That's
slow
the front
down.
of the life. So we should be doing things, thinking things in a different manner.
Yes.
Anything can happen.
Yeah. And
Yes.
also, if you
We're really
remember,
sad.
most people were in survival mode before the pandemic. It's sort of this, Rennie, where you go to work,
Absolutely.
you're in a rut, you do the routine, and everything's robotic. It's not almost like you're not even thinking about what you're doing. Now, the 3 years made us stop. Let me see, what have I been doing? Was it meaningful? Was it helping people? And that's where the shift is coming for you and for me, because we realize I
Yes.
want to do something that's going to help people. I don't want to just fly around the world and enjoy myself. That's also great, but you
Absolutely.
can do things that are
Absolutely.
significant that are going to help people, like the work you're doing, the work I'm doing. This is life-changing stuff.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. My next question, wonderful. You lead right into it. How has this worked change you as a person, including
Yes.
your mental health? How has this changed you?
Oh my God, I'm so happy you asked me that, Rennie. It changed me completely. I love that question because,
Giving careers changes us on the inside.
yes.
It does.
And the
Yes.
reason I feel
Yes.
that way is because, we weren't given everything. Like I said at the start of the interview, when we show up, the hotel is ready, the cars are ready, everything is handed to you. And also, you have this feeling of, I want to earn that on my own. I want to go to Paris.
Correct.
I want to choose the hotel I want to stay in. I want to choose how long I'm going to be there, right? So that's what
Correct.
changed in my life was that I now can make the choice of where I want to go, when I want to go, how much time I want to spend there, versus before we had a schedule, 48 hours and we're back, right? So now it's
Correct.
like, what if I want to spend a week in Monaco? I can do that. Not because I'm on a
Absolutely.
layover, but because I've now made a career choice. So the answer to your question is, how has it changed my life? Completely shifted my focus to the choices I now have are my choices. They're not based on what my employer needs from me.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And with that, I'm just going to say because anything that happens to us also affects our mental health. So if we're feeling more satisfied in the
Yes,
careers that we're doing now, it means that our mental health also is at a better place, a much better place.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Which leans towards your career, the focus of feeling fulfilled, feeling worth, like you have increased the worth and your value has changed the direction that you go in the choices you make, the people you're around, all that is happening.
But it's definitely a more rewarding feeling. And I always say, when you are giving to others in any capacity,
Oh my
there is
God.
something about that that just it's just such a satisfying feeling when you're
Yes,
giving and helping others. It's not just
yes,
about me and my needs and my wants. I'm
absolutely.
content where I am, and
Yep,
now can I give to someone else? How can I give back to someone
absolutely.
else?
Oh my God.
So it's such an amazing feeling. I know you feel the same way. It's such an
Yeah, I
amazing feeling.
got goosebumps when you said that because that's actually the key to life is that
Yes, yes,
you must be giving so that you feel the joy of you're helping somebody else. I'm not taking. What about me? That's the key to life is what am I doing for other people to help them have a better life? Oh my God, I love that.
I love it, right? And you have a career like mine where you can actually see the physical shift in your
Yes,
client,
completely,
right? Once you say,
completely.
hey, here are the steps, and they actually do it, the
Yeah,
first step in that, you can actually see if they continue on that trajectory that
yeah,
they will change. And that's a beautiful thing to
it
see
is.
your baby being birthed, and then
Yeah,
here it is growing and crawling and creeping and walking and
yeah,
running, and
yeah,
you're like,
yeah, yeah,
wow,
yeah.
and you've helped that person to be confident.
Absolutely. And to increase their wealth to the point of, oh my God, now you can give your children a down payment to a home, your cousin, your niece, whoever your person is, you have this ability now that you didn't have 5 years ago to say, you know what? Oh, she wants to have a beautiful wedding. I can give her $10,000. I'm not going to go under the water and drown because I'm trying to help my niece. Those are the physical things that you can see
Yes,
when you make
yes,
the shift and the changes is that your contributions are available for other people.
it is a beautiful, beautiful thing because
Yes.
financial security is one of the most talked about issues, but it's couples, individuals. It's one of those issues that is there because again, we
Yeah,
don't know how to navigate, or we've taken a choice
absolutely.
not to navigate
Yeah.
when we get the information, as you say.
That's a great point, Rennie. It's very elusive because it causes people to fight. It causes people to be angry. They feel like sometimes both people may not be carrying their weight, but the other part of it too, you have people who one person controls all the finances. Perfect example, women who marry a successful man who don't need to work, and you talk to them and say, so what do you have in place for yourself? Oh, my husband handles all that. So you have no idea what your username is, your password, your account number, and that's not okay. No matter what it looks like and sounds like, it's great to be able to buy Christian Louboutin shoes. But if you don't know your account number and what's in an account, which means you don't have one, you're completely
Exactly.
relying on a man who is providing for you. You have to be educated on, you need to start
Yes.
somewhere to, whatever he gives you, put aside something for yourself so that when the 20-year-old comes along and he leaves you for her, you are not stuck with zero. This is reality, Rennie. It's reality. People who
Seen
say,
and heard it.
it
I'm here
is.
laughing, but I've definitely seen and heard.
Yeah, you know
Absolutely.
people like this, we both do, that are in a relationship with somebody wealthy, but they have no idea what is my username, what is my passcode. I don't know my account number. He handles all that. So what happens if he was removed from the picture?
Yes, yes,
That's the
yes.
burning question. So relationships are great, but there has to be some equal footing and you have to be aware. What is my position in this relationship? What is my financial position? What is his? What we have joint account, great. What's our separate accounts look like? What is my liquid availability? Those are real
Yes.
questions that relationships need to focus on. And I think a lot of people do. They sit down, Rennie, and have their
Yeah.
Sunday meeting or Saturday afternoon where what's our
Correct.
budget for September? What's coming in, what's going out? And with that
Correct.
5 people, you have 50 people who don't do it. So that's the
Exactly.
educational piece as well. To have people, young people, people that we know, say, you know what, get your calendar out, make an
Yes.
appointment, keep the appointment. You've got to use your calendar, but you also got to use
Abs-
your budget. Create a
Right.
budget and stay on the budget.
Stay on the budget. And that is definitely one thing that I do tell my couples clients when they're coming in
Yeah,
for financial stress. Are
yeah,
you guys really taking the time to
good.
discuss
Oh,
this?
that's great to
Are you
hear.
guys sticking to the plan that you guys said you're going to stick to?
Yeah, that's a
And
great
most of
point,
the time,
Jen.
it's a no.
Yeah,
So hence, here we are having a fight, a
yeah,
discussion, an
that's right.
argument about money.
Because you're
Yes.
not on the same page. So that means that two things can also happen. I know couples who are wealthy that they pay separate bills, like one pays for the mortgage, one does all the utilities and the cars and the this, that, and the other. They agreed to that coming into that
Yeah.
relationship. Not everybody does that. And so when one person is carrying all the weight and the other
Yeah.
person's working all the time, it's like now when they get time together, it's everything's about a bill, a dollar,
Yes.
or this, or
Yes.
that. And where's the fun? Where's the good time? You have to be able to separate that, put your
Right.
day in where it's all about budget. And so your mental health and your financial fitness are totally one in one. They're the same. They go hand in hand, which is great that you asked me to be here because you and I are totally correlated in the career path. Yeah, because people don't realize like my mental health is
Yes.
completely determined by my finances.
Yes.
If I'm
Yes.
financially sound, there's no stress. I'm not flipping out.
Exactly.
I'm not coming home from work attacking my
Yes.
husband. Uh-uh.
Yes.
You have to be able to understand what are we bringing in? What is going
Yes.
out? What do I need to do that is a priority? And that will
Correct.
maintain stability.
Correct. 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 All checks. It makes so much sense to be on the same page. It makes so much sense to know on your own. Don't be
Yeah.
intimidated. It can be, but it doesn't have to be
No.
about yourself and your own finances. Like you
Yes.
said, when that part of your relationship is stable, that's a huge barrier there that's just broken down.
Yeah.
There's no
And
stress there because we know we want to go away. We know we have money to go away. We're not thinking, oh my God, do I have to pick up an extra
that's
shift?
right. Yeah. Like, yeah, let me go to London for the weekend. And then when you
Yes.
come back on Tuesday, the same issue, right? The same
You're
issue is
good.
waiting for you.
Absolutely.
That doesn't resolve
Yes.
anything. So actually writing things down, organizing a plan, it's so important. And it's part of the initial setup that we do when we start with people in finances to look at what you have. Don't deny
Yes.
it. Look at it. See what it
Correct.
is, recognize it, and then utilize your what your goals are to say, you know what, this is I want to change that. I want to change this. I want to buy a vacation home, or I want to have an Airbnb, whatever it is. You put the goal in place. 4 years from now, I'm going to have a second place that I'm going to Airbnb it out. That's an income for me coming in. And there you go.
Yes.
You lay it out on paper, you get it done. Don't leave it as a wish because then it's no action.
There's no action. For anything that we want to do, there has to be action.
That,
Action equals change.
yeah, that's right. And
It
it's
has to be done
possible.
for the next step to take place. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. This is just so great. Oh my gosh.
Yes, I'm so
So
happy.
much educated on finances. Financial savviness is not a bad word. I say it
No,
about therapy all the time. It's not a bad word. We just
yeah,
have to be educated on it. That's
yeah. And
it.
also, Rennie, it doesn't make you, it's like people, when you say that, it's like, oh, she's bougie. No, it's called being smart. You don't need to have a label for people to tell you, you think you're better than other people because you want them to be wealthier. Like that makes no sense. You're doing it because you want them to have it.
Yes. Yes. I
and
so agree
sharing
with
it.
that. And I think the people who use those kind of words, those kind of terminologies, clearly they themselves are not educated on this
Right.
topic. So
That's right.
yeah,
Yeah,
who
and it's
doesn't want
also they're
anyone?
stuck in a yeah, Rennie, and they're stuck in this sort of always want to be the same. They don't want to change.
So then why should others?
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, yeah,
You know, really likes company.
yeah. And
This
that's
really
another
likes,
reason education is so important is that you have to be able to formulate your own thought, take the information that we share
yeah,
and use it for yourself and not worry about what other people, what everybody else is doing. What do I want to
exactly.
do? What am I going to do?
At the end of the day, it all boils down to you. You have
Yeah,
to make choices for yourself. At the end of the day,
absolutely.
you are responsible for yourself.
That's right.
So
Absolutely.
making the right choice matters.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna get into your bio here.
Okay.
One of the questions you have was, how can we assist families where addiction is present? That was a very good question.
Yeah, and I brought that up because it seems as though, whether we know it or not, maybe 1 in 10 people that you know have a family member or somebody they love that dealt with an addiction and it affected their family, whether the person went to rehabilitation, incarceration, or passed away. Those things
Yes,
create incredible stress inside a family. And the reason I brought that up is because there's something correlated to the lack of money that people have that causes them to seek a relief in a way that becomes addictive. And the fact that they have no money can also cause them to commit crimes that lead to addiction, right?
absolutely.
They're all
Yes,
correlated. And so that's why I brought the subject up, was that we have to be able to face the fact that there's a correlation between mental health and money and lack of it
yes,
that can
yes,
lead to addiction, and that the parents, the children, everybody will suffer. And whether it's
yes,
alcohol, something as simple as a father coming home and feeling stressed about his job, and then he drinks and now he's fighting with his wife, the children are seeing that. All those things are correlated to finance.
yes. Well, yes. Oh my gosh, it's like a mental health question. And you are so right. There is a huge, huge correlation because it's easy to buy a bottle of liquor
Yep.
than pay a bill that
Yeah,
costs, like, your light bill is $50. You don't have $50,
that's right.
but I can always buy $5 bottle of liquor in the store.
And drown that
So
out.
exactly, and drown my sorrows in this bottle of liquor.
Mhm.
But like what I always say about addiction is, okay, so once the high is over,
Yeah,
the problem didn't go away.
it's
The
back.
problem is still there.
Yeah,
And it
it's
probably
still
got worse
there.
because it's been 2 weeks later. Now there's interest tacked on the problem. So it got worse. It didn't get better.
Yes, that's right, Winnie.
You
It's
know,
magnified. At that point, it's magnified, it's
absolutely.
multiplied, which is going to
Yes.
cause another sort of what you call, they call it relapse, but a setback. The magnification of the problem. It's
Yes.
like, oh, now you need more drugs. You need stronger drug. You need a stronger
Correct.
drink. So that's why I brought up that subject, was because people don't realize how correlated lack of finance creates mental health stress with families, and that the whole family will result in bearing the brunt of that. Whether it's children
Absolutely.
who can't have a backpack to go to school next week
So,
because there's
yes.
no money to get it, because one of the
Yes.
parents might be, abusing the money, whatever the case may be, but
Right.
it
Right.
becomes mental stress for the child.
Absolutely. Because it doesn't just affect the person, does it? It affects everyone in the household. So it's
Absolutely.
your problem, but it affects the family.
You're all one unit.
Absolutely. So it affects everyone in your family. And a lot of people don't
Yes.
realize that when you're
No.
abusing substance, yeah, that's just you doing that in your
Yeah,
own way, in your own time. But your wife, your spouse, your children, your son, your daughter,
that's
they're
right.
all feeling the effects of that because you're not present. They're feeling the stress of that.
Yeah,
Whatever's going on in that household due to addictive substances, they're feeling the effects of that, whether you know it or
absolutely.
not.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then
You
it
know,
becomes deeper also, Rennie, where the child feels like, are they part of the problem? Are they responsible?
absolutely.
Did they give anything that
Yes.
caused this problem? And that's where it's dangerous, because that's where suicidal thoughts come in, and things that are out of the parents don't even realize. Like, the child is suffering in loneliness and holding that in, not knowing that something is wrong. They're seeing us fight all the time. Every night they're fighting over a,
Correct.
and now
Money.
I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't be here. I mean, it's very deep.
It definitely can be. You know, anything that is left untreated
Yeah,
only gets worse.
that's right.
It can only get worse before it
Yeah,
gets better.
yeah,
You
it
know,
multiplies. Yeah.
so yeah, in life, exactly. So
Yeah, so thank
definitely,
you for addressing that. Yeah,
yes, of course, of course. My thing is, whenever there's a problem within the family, the first thing is to address the problem. There's no issue unless it's addressed, and then seek help. Whether it's
right.
financial help, whether it's help for addiction,
Yeah,
whatever that help looks like, is to seek help. Because again, nothing changes unless we do something about it.
no, by holding on to it.
Not
That's right. You got to put it on the table and say, listen, what is the solution? I cannot
absolutely.
continue to say, oh, I'm having financial problems. If I don't change that, I have to be able to say, here's A, B, and C. Now B
Absolutely.
looks like something I can do. Let me start there and make it
Correct.
happen.
Correct. Something has to happen.
Yeah,
Something has to happen, or else, where are we?
yeah.
We're back
And
in the same
yeah, in
place.
the same position. And with families, I'm sure you see that with therapy, it's like the issue has to be talked about, and then you can resolve it and find the solution. But if
Yes.
nobody knows and everybody's walking around mad and screaming all the time, like, what is,
Yes.
that's not what life is about. That is not how your home should be. It's supposed
No.
to be filled with joy, love, happiness. There's a day for
Yes.
billing and a day, the rest of the time you're supposed to be happy. Yeah, there's a day for the bills, girl. And the rest of the time you're supposed to be happy.
You're supposed to be happy, at least happier a whole lot more days than not, you
Thank you.
know. But anything else, like we're talking about here, the situation has to be addressed, whether it's something financial, something mental health, addiction, and
Yeah,
then there's always, like one of my interviews earlier, there's always a solution
there's
to
always,
whatever our
always,
problems is.
always,
Always. It's
always,
us that don't
always.
see that.
Yeah, and
There's
it's all
always a solution to our problems. We may not
absolutely
like what the outcomes may be. We may not
sacrifice
like what
you to
the
me.
choices may be,
Hmm.
but it's still a choice. It's still a
Yeah,
choice.
it is.
Because going
And
to
also,
that may
Rennie,
not be what you want, but it's still a choice that you
yeah,
have.
yeah,
You can't make
because
it. So
that's
yes.
the thing I was telling a girlfriend over the weekend. It's like everything is what you call the revealing the concealed. So
Yes.
imagine that
I love
there's a
that.
screen or a curtain in front of something you want. It's
Yes.
already there. The item is
Yes.
already there. It's just not revealed because you got to put in the work to reveal it. A
Love
great way to
that.
look at it, but it's also the point of anything that you want, you have to put the work in. You have to make the sacrifice. It's not going to be given to you. There, and people using the word entitled, I hate that word. There's no such thing.
Yes.
Children don't feel entitled. They feel what they've been given.
Exactly.
You spoiled them and now you want them to change. That's not
Correct.
entitlement. You
Yes.
created the situation.
Absolutely.
That's
Yes.
not entitlement. It's called you spoiled them. You need $100 pair of tennis shoes, but you guess, let me be the one to tell you, you could put that same $100 in a fund for that child. And at 10
Yes.
years old, 15 years old, that child could have $200,000. You don't see that as an option. You see those tennis shoes. I want those tennis shoes now. I must have
Right.
those tennis shoes. Everybody else has those tennis shoes. But will
Correct.
everybody else have $250,000 when they're 18 years old? No, you would.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you have
Easy,
to,
simple.
yeah,
$100 can work for you 10, 15 years down the road.
yeah.
Amazing.
And it's not
Amazing.
that far away. Look at 5 years ago. Think about 2018. That sounds like yesterday,
Correct.
right?
Correct. Yes. The times is definitely going quick. So
Yeah,
yes, I'm loving this. Again,
I
great,
am
great
too.
conversation. Let's
Yes.
switch just a little bit. What
Okay.
does self-care look like for you, Shannon?
Absolutely. Fantastic question. I love it. It's right in your wheelhouse. So I was
Yeah,
expecting that. And I will answer that
awesome.
very clearly. Self-care to me looks
Mhm.
like utilizing my days to provide the products I provide to clients and to
Okay.
people that need this and showing them how they need it, but also doing it for myself. So everything that you're doing for everybody else, you must be
Yes.
doing for yourself. And that's
Yes.
self-care. So you're busy with, oh my God, she needs this and she needs that. What about in every conversation I talk to people, Rennie, I say, I'm also talking to myself. I need to,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
There's self-care. Whatever I'm talking about, I need to also be listening to how does it relate
Wow.
to me?
Yes.
And so that I'm not only teaching, but I'm learning that's going to benefit me. That's self-care in a nutshell for me.
I love it. And I'm laughing because I have said those same
Yeah,
exact words
haven't you?
to I'm like, wait a minute. I'm giving you guys all this amazing, amazing
Thank
advice.
you. And am I taking?
Hello. I have to take it for myself too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Advice I won't take for myself and use for myself. So
Yep,
yes,
yep,
I am also learning in the process. I'm so glad
yeah.
you said that.
I'm so
Yes.
happy I said it too, because I do, Rennie. I was talking to a girlfriend over the weekend. She was stressed out because of some situations in her career. And I said, listen, everything you have, you already have it. You just need to reveal it. Number one. Second part is everything I talk to you about, I'm also talking to myself. Don't feel like I'm giving you advice because I'm judging you. This has nothing to do with judgment. This is about sharing information that I'm also receiving because I need the same information.
We
Amazing.
all financially savvy. We all
Yeah.
can be mental health ready. Absolutely.
Yes.
Why
If they
not?
want it.
Yes. And we should. We
They should.
absolutely
Yeah.
should.
Yeah.
Being in the business for it, we absolutely should.
Yeah.
Imagine giving someone amazing advice and then your portfolio is like crappy.
Thank
Like
you.
that
It
doesn't
doesn't
make
exist.
sense.
Yeah, they would go, wait a minute. You don't have stocks, you don't have your 401, not 401k, because I separate it from that, but the things
Yes.
that you're sharing with people, I have to have it. That's the number one they tell us in the office is that I cannot talk to somebody about a product that I don't have. I cannot.
How you're really selling instead of just giving information. It feels different.
Right.
When something that you're passionate about, that's
Yeah.
something that you're trying to just talk about because you read it in a book somewhere and it sounds good.
Well, that's it, Rennie, because here's the thing. If I'm talking to you about a product that can multiply and increase your wealth and I don't
Correct.
have it, then I go, wait a minute, 5 years later, 5 years later, I go, wait a minute, why do I still have $100,000 when I should have 250? It all becomes correlating to the person that you're helping, but at the same time, you're helping yourself be wealthier, be smarter, be more
Yes.
educated.
Correct.
I love
Yes.
that
Love
part.
that.
Yeah.
Yes. I love what you said. We're helping, but we're also learning at the same time.
Yes. Yes.
Love that. Love
Yeah.
that. Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. My
Yes.
next question to you is what is something that you know now from this line of work that
Yeah.
you wish you'd known at a younger age?
Oh my goodness. I would say,
Some things I should
yeah,
probably say.
exactly. I wish it was just one thing, Rennie. If it was, that would be a dream come true. But it's literally every single thing I've learned in the last 2.5 years since I got my license is things that they're never going to teach you in school because
Correct.
this information is not for everybody, right?
Correct.
B, the information that you do have can change your life and make it incredible. And it was already there. You just didn't know about it. It was already there. You just didn't know because you were busy with other things that may not have been this, but it's also what do we choose to do with our time? That's what
Correct.
I've learned that 10 years ago, 20 years ago, when I was younger, my life was about, oh my God, I want to have a good time. I got to go to the best club. I got to
Yes.
be at the best event. I have to have on the best dress. I've got to have the best shoes. That was
Yes.
my priority, right? Well, now I realize if I would know what I knew now 20 years ago,
Yeah.
not only would I be more of an expert in where I am, but the number of people I would have helped bring them up in their financial wealth picture would be 10 times, 100 times what it is.
Yeah.
And that's the difference.
Yeah. But you know what? No regrets.
Nope.
Because this life is such an amazing journey that
Yep.
even if we didn't know these things a couple of years ago, we enjoyed the life that we had in any
Yes.
moment that we were in, living.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
Made the best of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yes.
awesome and great, even at a
Yeah, and it
younger
was
age.
also good. Let me be the one to tell you. I don't need to tell you. We were in Paris together. It's not like we were
Yes.
in some kind of hardship, trying to figure out how to get, not to be rude, on a boat to get to another country. We were
Correct.
literally flying around the world in Switzerland.
Yes.
So
Yes.
there's
We
something
enjoy it.
great about that. There's a
Yes.
huge appreciation,
Yes.
Rennie, for that, because I am grateful that not only did we have the opportunity that was given to us, but it was a miracle of a blessing of doing something that people only dream about. People
Absolutely.
dream about living the life we live. And so for
Absolutely.
me, I would never be ungrateful for that. But what I do understand is that there's a season, like you said, there's a time for everything. As my
Absolutely.
father's famous saying is, everything
Yes.
has its season. And this is
Absolutely.
our season of expanding our intelligence and helping other people so that they can go to Paris, they can go to London, based on the
Absolutely.
fact that you helped them get ready mentally and I did financially,
Yes.
and now they can go anywhere they wish.
Enjoy.
The joy.
Enjoy. Spend whatever feeling you want to. Don't worry about what it costs and enjoy that life.
Yes, yeah.
Absolutely.
If you think about it, that's a great point, Rennie. You think about our passengers on our flights. And I don't know if you ever did, but I'd always wonder, how did they get the money to be in first class? And there's five of them,
Absolutely.
right? And
Absolutely.
I would be thinking about that and going, that's what I want for my family.
Absolutely.
I want to pay for
Fabulous.
the seats and I want to go to Switzerland and go skiing and stop out in
Yes.
Paris on the way home.
Absolutely.
And it can be done. We know it. But we do it.
Yes. We've done it. We've done it. We've
Yeah.
done it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And here we are as testaments that we've done that and can still move on to different seasons in our life.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. And
love
we're
that.
going to do it now, Rennie, on our own rules, on
That's right.
our own agenda, with our own. I love that part is that we're now playing by our choice, our rules. We choose when we're gonna go there. We're not on a calendar.
Absolutely.
We're not gonna get,
Absolutely.
oh my God, 24 hours
Absolutely.
and you gotta fly to Sydney, Australia and turn around and come back. Like, are you mad? I'm not doing that.
Freedom. There's freedom. There's
But it's a
freedom.
choice.
Want to
It's
go
also a
on.
choice. I'm not against people who do it, but the growth
Absolutely.
has happened for us, for
Yes.
you and for
Yes.
I, and our perspective is different.
Has changed. But there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
We are just in whatever season of our life that we need to
absolutely.
be in the moment.
Absolutely.
And it's
Yes.
all good. It's
Yes.
literally all good.
That's
Love
right.
it. Shannon, before we wrap up, is there anything else that you want to leave our listeners with? This has been such an amazing, amazing interview thus far. Anything else you want to leave our
I
listeners
do.
with?
I do.
Absolutely.
I want to say thank you for being such an awesome person, Rennie. I've always
Thank
admired and
you.
loved you. And I feel like what a blessing that you came into my life, that we know each other. I call you a sister. Anytime we have an opportunity to be in the same city, we could be together. Doesn't matter. But the biggest part of this I want to share with the viewers is that these resources that we're providing to people are real. It's what people
Yes.
need to have a fruitful, healthy life. You don't have to be stressed out. You don't have to try to live up to other people's expectations. You have your own life on your own terms that you can make the choice for. I do want to make myself wealthier. I do want to be mentally healthy. That is
Right.
available at all times, and you have to want it, and it's available. You and I can connect them to that, but it's also
Absolutely.
available for the viewers to see that there are people that look like you. Rennie and I look like you. We can help you
Yes.
see that. Oh my God, you want to go back to school? Do it. You want to increase your wealth? Do
It.
it. You want to be a doctor? Do it. You have the opportunity. You just have to do it. Take the action.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Just like a therapist. I love it, love it,
I
love it.
know.
And thank you so much for, your compliment as well. You are my sister. I have
Yes,
no
yes,
sisters, so
yes,
all these
yes.
amazing women I meet on my journey, I do call
Yes.
sister,
So,
friend, colleagues, and absolutely love that. Shannon, I appreciate you that you've taken this time to be with us today and
absolutely.
just share this knowledge that all of us can learn from. There's always something to learn, talking about finances and
Yeah,
building wealth and generational wealth and just budgeting. That's the basic budgeting. There's
something
always something to learn
simple.
when it comes to people.
Yeah,
Very simple.
yeah,
And so many of us struggle with that. So I just thank
yeah.
you for taking this time to just, again, just baby steps,
Yes.
but everyone can understand it. And it's in
Yeah.
a nutshell. It's in
Yes.
a nutshell for us. Guys, you've
That's
heard the
right.
information from the
Absolutely.
lovely
My
Robin Shannon
pleasure.
Banks.
Thank you very much, Vinny. Big kiss and thank you so much. What a pleasure. I'm so grateful. And I love seeing you, catching up and connecting. And anytime you feel like you need to share my knowledge with clients, please send them my way. And definitely,
I
I will be in touch.
We will definitely be putting your information in the description for the
Awesome.
video.
Thank you.
Wants to reach out, have your information. There's direct contact to you. Guys, you can always reach out to me as well. That's
Absolutely.
fine. But we'll
Yes.
definitely have Shannon's information for you guys. Once again, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Let's start making those changes in our lives. If you have not already liked and subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and hit that button because we definitely need to push this information on to so many other people. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I will see you guys in the next segment. Bye for now.